You have a functioning WordPress site, but dropping in a mismatched PHP version can bring the entire mechanism to a halt. Selecting a PHP version in 2026 requires navigating a direct conflict between WordPress recommendations and the actual PHP project lifecycle. This timeline shows the gap. WordPress recommends PHP 8.3 for stability, yet the PHP project itself has moved on to version 8.5, which carries security support all the way through 2029. Because of this split, newer versions like 8.4 and 8.5 are labeled beta compatible. While the WordPress core software runs, third-party plugins and themes may not have been updated to handle the changes in the newer code. Choosing 8.3 ensures your plugins remain stable, but it limits your security window. That version stops receiving security patches in December 2027. Picking a version without checking your plugin stack leaves you with a choice between an outdated security timeline or a site that breaks immediately upon loading. The MultiPHP Manager in cPanel resets your underlying server directives every time you select a new version from the list. Unless you have manually customized your settings, your site will adopt the default configuration file tied to the new PHP version you just picked. This means a site that previously had 512 megabytes of memory could be dropped to 256 megabytes without any warning in the interface. Your script timeout can also be slashed. A process that once had 5 minutes to complete might suddenly be cut off after only 60 seconds. These changes cause immediate failures in heavy operations. Large WooCommerce product imports or automated nightly backups will stop mid-process because the server no longer allows them enough time to finish. Switching versions to gain a small performance boost can result in a broken business operation if those resource limits are not restored. To understand the stakes, we have to look at the directive ladder, the specific memory and timeout limits assigned to each PHP branch on shared hosting. This matrix shows differences between available versions. PHP 8.3 provides a 512 megabyte memory limit and 300-second timeout for heavy tasks, though support ends in 2027. PHP 8.4 extends security to 2028, but default resources drop to 256 megabytes and a 60-second timeout. This is why 8.4 is often the default choice for hosting providers. It balances server stability with a long support window for the average user. For a demanding site, moving to 8.4 requires a manual edit of the INI files to reclaim the memory and time required for complex scripts. PHP 8.3 is the heavy lifter. It is built to handle high-volume data and complex e-commerce databases without crashing. Large page builders rely on these higher resource ceilings to process thousands of products or intensive layout changes. Choosing between 8.3 and 8.4 is a direct trade-off between immediate processing power and the frequency of your upgrade cycles. PHP 8.5 is the newest option. It has the longest security runway, lasting until December 2029, and introduces a built-in speed mechanism. While 8.5 keeps the lower 256 megabyte memory limit, it is the only version on the ladder to include native OpCache. OpCache is a server-level feature that stores pre-compiled code. This allows the server to skip processing steps usually required when a page is loaded. This is very different from standard page caching, which only helps those visitors who are viewing completely static content. OpCache speeds up the parts of your site that cannot be cached, like active shopping carts and user account dashboards. However, because it is still beta compatible with WordPress, using 8.5 with unmaintained plugins often leads to critical errors. Upgrading to PHP 8.5 increases native server speed, but it requires thorough testing to ensure your site's code can run on the new branch. Your PHP version should be chosen based on the architecture of your specific site. If you run a heavy WooCommerce store or page builder, choose PHP 8.3 for its 512 megabyte memory ceiling. For standard blogs prioritizing stability, select PHP 8.4. And for lightweight sites needing max speed, PHP 8.5 with OpCache is correct. Using a version that doesn't match your workload leads to wasted resources or constant timeouts. Aligning the PHP version with your site's operational weight prevents both security vulnerabilities and resource exhaustion. To upgrade safely, record your current memory limit and execution time from the WordPress site health dashboard. Always test the new PHP version on a staging clone first. This catches broken plugins before they affect your live visitors. After switching versions in cPanel, you must manually re-enter any custom INI directives to restore resource limits. Finally, return to the site health dashboard. Verify that the server is actually running the new version with restored limits. A successful migration follows a set process. This protocol allows you to take advantage of a modern PHP runtime without interrupting your business operations.